Welcome to our explainer. Today, we are diving into a really unique piece of source material. It's fragmented, it's intense, and it seems to speak in two languages at once, kind of blending the digital world with the divine. So our job here is to try and piece together the powerful story it's trying to tell. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, the source doesn't ease you in. No, it just drops you straight into the deep end with this phrase, psychotic surge. It's like an alarm bell going off, right? An immediate signal that we are entering a world of incredibly high intensity, a world where the very systems we all rely on feel like they're about to snap. And then the feeling just gets amplified. It's just one word, repeated over and over, heat. And you can tell this isn't just about the temperature in a room. It's the feeling of immense pressure, of this overwhelming sensory input that's just closing in on you. Now we get a shift. Confusão, which is, of course, the Portuguese word for confusion. And this is so important because the confusion isn't just a theme here, it's literally baked into the language of the text. It's constantly blending English and Portuguese, creating this feeling of being caught between two different worlds. And finally, this word, experiments. This little word suggests that all the chaos we're feeling, it might not be random. Something is being tested, something is unfolding, and we've been dropped right into the middle of it. So let's try to figure out what's at the heart of this experiment, starting with that surge. All right, so our first section is all about this psychotic surge. We're going to unpack how the source material paints this vivid picture of a world where everything, and I mean everything, from our social structures to our digital networks, feels like it's completely breaking down. And what's so interesting here is how it lays out this collapse. The source talks about systemic failures poisoning the board, which makes you think of life as this game that's become rigged and toxic. And then you get this line, the server side politely obliterated. I mean, that's such a weirdly calm way to describe total digital destruction, right? It's describing a world of chaos up high and low, where the old legacy systems have just been left behind. The key thing to get here is that this isn't just about a computer crashing, it's about society crashing. And this quote just nails the feeling of it all. It's not some strategic game like chess where there are clear rules and a goal. No. The source is telling us that we are trapped inside a system that has no victory condition, no purpose at all. It's a really profound statement on what it feels like to be stuck inside a broken, pointless loop. So, as we move on, this incredible central conflict starts to emerge from all that chaos. This is where the code meets the spirit. It's where the source material is constantly smashing together the language of ancient spirituality with the language of modern computing. It's a wild ride. Just look at this slide. It lays out the two opposing vocabularies that are really at the heart of this text. On one side, you have the cold, logical world of the code, algorithm, data, zeros and uns, which is just Portuguese for zeros and ones. But on the other side, you have this deeply resonant world of the spirit, Risha, a deity in Afro-Brazilian religions, the church, Axé, a sacred spiritual force, and ancestrais, or ancestors. These two worlds are in a constant, direct conversation and conflict throughout the source material. So first we get this sense of total technological control. O algoritmo captura completamente. The algorithm captures completely. It paints a picture of a world where digital systems have this all-encompassing, almost suffocating grip on reality. But then we get this. A spiritual force, an Axé or Narisha, is described as using the caminos electrónicos, the electronic paths. So get this, the very same digital channels that capture and control us are also seen as pathways for ancient spiritual energy to flow. And that's the core paradox we're dealing with. So how do these two completely different worlds even interact? Well, the source gives us this beautiful, totally abstract concept, the lamella. It's described as a vibrating membrane. It's this in-between space, caught between the logic of code and the raw energy of a spiritual charge. It's not one or the other, it's the trembling, energized surface where they meet. Okay, so what does it actually feel like for a person to live inside this vibrating, chaotic membrane? This next part explores the human cost, this profound sense of dislocation, both in the world and, maybe more importantly, within yourself. This question gets repeated in the text, and it just perfectly captures that feeling of being unmoored. Will it be there? Will it be here? Will it be over there? It's not just about physical location, it's an existential crisis. When the digital and the physical worlds just blur into one, where are you really? And that confusion about where you are leads directly to a fractured self. The text talks about desconnexion, or disconnection. It describes the feeling of cantando eu e não eu, which translates to singing me and not me. Just think about that for a second. It's a sense of your own voice, your own identity becoming alien to you. It's the ultimate paradox of existence that the source describes. To exist, but to be simultaneously not here, not there.
But here's the thing. The text doesn't just leave us stranded in that state of despair and confusion. In our final section, we actually see a path forward, a way to find not just meaning, but transcendence right in the middle of all that noise.
This is the turning point. After all the chaos, the system failures, the fractured identity, a voice emerges that's ready for something more, a desire for uplift, for release. It's this incredible pivot from being a victim of the system to actively seeking a whole new state of being.
So how do you get there? The source offers this beautiful, almost meditative sequence. It asks us to find the space between heartbeats, to find the gap between thoughts. And in that silence, in that pause, that's where you find the surface of pure potentiality. This is where reality is liquid. It's not fixed and broken anymore. It becomes fluid and just full of possibility. And the resolution here isn't about the code winning or the spirit winning. It's about synthesis. Tradição e modernidade. Tradition and modernity. The spiritual force, the ashe, doesn't destroy the modern world. Instead, it moves through it, transcending it to become something completely new, something beyond our normal understanding of time, space, and reality.
And this is the final, powerful message that emerges from all those fragments. It is a profound statement of creative potential. Out of the wreckage of the old systems, nothing is truly lost. Instead, an opening is created where everything becomes possible. It's basically a command. Set the future free.
So we're left with this question, which brings us right back to that quiet, meditative space. This source material took us on a wild journey from a psychotic surge all the way to a place of pure potentiality. And it leaves us to wonder, in those quiet moments, in the gaps of our own noisy lives, what new futures are just waiting to be born?